Right now, the UAE is in a real estate boom so massive, unlike anything before, population reached about 11 million in 2024 and growing. Cranes crowding the skyline, towers of glass and steel rising fast. The construction scale is so enormous, you could actually see it from space. And it's not only Dubai, it is Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ajman, Ras Al Khaimah. The entire country is building like never before. Entrepreneurs, investors, and high net worth families choosing the UAE as their second home. This isn't a boom driven by speculation. It's driven by policies, stability, and opportunity. And it's rewriting the country's growth story. And if you look at the numbers, the value of real estate assets in the UAE has exceeded 2.5 trillion dirhams.
Dubai's real estate sector achieved its strongest performance to date in 2025, with over 270,000 transactions worth 917 billion dirhams. Now that's up 20% year on year. In Abu Dhabi, registration volume surged by 43%. We are seeing a market where inventory is moving faster than construction crews can break ground. And when a reputable developer launches a project today, inventory can clear in days, sometimes hours.
That is the off-plan real estate market. Billions of dirhams are changing hands based on a contract that promises a home will exist at some point in the future. Much of the market is operating on trust. Trust that the timeline holds and trust that the city will be ready. But trust alone is not enough to turn 2.5 trillion dirhams of contracts into physical spaces where people can live, work, and thrive. You have to execute a logistical operation with tight schedules and penalties for delay. If the supply chain slows down, the handover date slides. And if the handover date slides, buyer confidence weakens. To keep this promise, the UAE is consuming materials at an unprecedented rate that would put extraordinary stress on any supply chain. And the most critical element in this equation is steel. The story of steel starts with iron, a metal that makes up about 5% of Earth's crust and is everywhere around us. Early civilizations used iron for tools and weapons. Then they discovered a tiny tweak that changed everything: carbon. Steel is basically iron with a small amount of carbon. Heat the iron, add carbon-rich fuel like charcoal or coal, and you get a metal that's tougher and far more useful. For centuries, it was too expensive to make at scale, until coal-fired furnaces and air blasting made bulk production possible. The Industrial Revolution lit the fuse. Coal powered the furnaces, and railways and factories created massive demand. And that's why steel is everywhere now in how we live, move, work, and build.
This is where the UAE saw the problem. For the most of its history, if you wanted steel, you were at the mercy of global supply chains shipping heavy metal across oceans from the countries with coal mines and iron deposits. If the UAE wanted to secure its future, it couldn't be dependent on the imports for the one material that builds the country.
And while the UAE already had a domestic steel industry, the economy still relied heavily on global supply chains, which were about to face an unprecedented threat.
Breaking news: China has identified a mysterious new virus.
It is rapidly spreading. The death toll is rising.
Tonight, COVID-19 is officially a pandemic.
3 billion people are now in lockdown for the toughest year of our lives.
To understand how fragile this period was, you have to go back to the moment the world tried to open after COVID. In 2021 and 2022, the UAE construction sector faced a synchronization failure. Now, at the exact moment where demand for new homes roared back to life, the global machine for delivering the steel to build them completely broke down.
It was a perfect storm that hit the industry from 3 directions at once. First, the price shock. In early 2022, following the onset of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, global steel markets went vertical. In 1 month, the price spiked from 2,900 dirhams to 4,400 dirhams. Contractors who had bid on projects months earlier were suddenly staring at massive financial holes in their budgets. Then, the logistics nightmare began. As factories worldwide rushed to restart, shipping containers, the standard unit of global trade, effectively disappeared. The cost to ship a 40-foot container from India to the UAE skyrocketed from 1,200 dirhams to 5,800 dirhams. A 350% increase almost overnight. Routes from China jumped as high as 18,000 dirhams. Suppliers were calling UAE developers with impossible news. We have the steel, but we can't find a box to put it in.
It was chaos. We are scrapping to charter our own vessels to keep the sites open. You realize very quickly how exposed you are when the ocean freights cost more than the profit margin of the building.
And finally, the choke point. When the Ever Given ship blocked the Suez Canal in 2021, it froze hundreds of vessels and cascaded delays directly into the Gulf. For a country that relies on just-in-time delivery, this was catastrophic. Suddenly, the off-plan economy faced its worst nightmare, the inventory gap.
Developers faced a reality where a multi-billion dirham project could sit frozen for months waiting for structural steel stuck in a port thousands of miles away.
People think that if steel is late, you wait a week. It doesn't work like that. It's a domino effect. If the rebar doesn't arrive for the 10th floor slab on Tuesday, I can't pour concrete on Wednesday. If I don't pour, the electrician schedule for Friday can't come in. One missing shipment can push a handover date back by weeks, and in complex projects, even months.
And when a handover date slips, the trust snaps. The dream of buying a home relies on certainty. When you take that away, the entire market wobbles.
That is the hardest conversation you can have. You have a family waiting to move in. They've given notice on their rental, and you have to tell them, sorry, your home isn't ready because a ship is stuck in port somewhere. We realized that if these delays kept piling up, the market's trust would weaken.
The UAE decided it couldn't build the future on a supply chain it didn't control. So it launched Operation 300 Billion to scale industrial output by 2031. Supported by industrial financing, including 30 billion dirhams committed through the Emirates Development Bank to help fund factory expenses, equipment, and modernization. And it aligned procurement around a simple incentive: the In-Country Value ICV program.
ICV is a score built into government and government-linked tenders. Higher local purchasing and local production improve your score and makes your bid more competitive.
As more of the economy started producing locally, local steel demand rose with it. That demand pull drove new investment and higher production across the UAE steel industry. More capacity, more output, and a larger share supplied from inside the country. Local capacity doesn't eliminate imports. Some specialized steel grades, equipment, and project inputs still come from abroad, and sourcing locally can cost more upfront for contractors. But it reduces the biggest risk in an off-plan market: unpredictable lead times.
We countered global market volatility by transforming our operations into a 24/7 rapid response production, effectively replacing the uncertainty of international supply chains with certainty of domestic agility to ensure UAE projects never stood still.
This strategy, in part, helped cushion the construction sector from global supply chain volatility.
I didn't know what real stress was until I was standing on the site and realizing the drawing had just changed. Maybe the clients wants a new layout, maybe the fire code got updated. Suddenly, the steel cladding we ordered 3 months ago is useless. If I have to go back to a supplier in Europe or China, that's a 12 to 30-week lead time. For specialized parts, it can be 75 weeks. That creates a dead zone. the crane stops, the workforce sits idle, and every day we wait, the projects bleeds money.
This is the nightmare scenario for the off-plan economy. When a system is built on speed, long and repeated delays can break the entire business model. But today, the site engineer stays calm. He just makes a phone call.
At our facility in Dubai Industrial City, we are well prepared for moments like this.
Hi team, we have got one urgent order of 400 ton for PPGI. The urgent quantity by evening is 50 ton. So please proceed for the production ASAP.
We run night shifts for exactly this reason. When the call comes in, our team reacts immediately and the production lines retool instantly. The continuous galvanizing line adapts the zinc coating thickness as per the specifications of the projects. The continuous color coating line is set to match the exact shade and specifications needed. We also slit large steel coils into the required widths for the site. Within moments, we move from regular production to an emergency response mode. If you order from abroad, you're buying a product. If you order locally, you're buying time. When a design changes at midnight, a ship in the middle of the ocean can't turn around. We can because we are close, we respond faster. When lead times come down and deliveries stay on schedule, sites remain fully supplied. Factory teams and site crews keep working and the construction always stays on track.
The market today moves extremely fast, and agility is the only way to survive. Between January and November 2025, monthly rebar demand in the UAE jumped from about 350,000 to nearly 500,000 tons. You simply can't meet that level of demand with a supply chain that takes 3 months. What you need is a factory that can respond within hours, and that's precisely what the UAE steel industry has achieved.
In 2024, the UAE steel market hit 17.26 billion dirham, and projection put it at 22.77 billion dirham by 2033. The country is consuming roughly 500,000 tons of steel every month. This is equivalent to a new Burj Khalifa every few days.
To keep pace, an entire industrial ecosystem has scaled in parallel to meet this massive demand. EMSTEEL operates 14 plants, sells into over 70 global markets, and has around 3.5 million tons per year of steel capacity. EMSTEEL runs more than 30 AI models to forecast furnace loads, balance output, and smooth operations.
We have added about 500,000 tons, that's 500,000 tons per year, to the UAE's coated steel output through our specialized coating steel lines.
Ghurair Iron Steel was founded in 2006 and pioneered galvanized flat steel production in the UAE. Today, it's the GCC's largest producer of coated flat steel, producing more than 570,000 tons annually in Abu Dhabi and exporting to over 40 countries. With a strategic partnership with Nippon Steel, focused on construction manufacturing, AGIS is moving toward Industry 4.0 through digitalization and strengthening sustainability across the full product lifecycle.
Al Jazeera Steel produces over 500,000 tons of rolled steel annually and exports to more than 25 countries. We are investing in a new medium section rolling mill at Kizad, Abu Dhabi. It's a 200,000 square meter development that expands local manufacturing and will subsequently add rail production capability. This facility brings supply closer to the market, improving speed and reliability through automation and digital operations.
Gulf Metal Foundry is a niche steel casting manufacturer that focuses on exotic materials. We run electric induction furnaces and 6 PLC-controlled heat treatment furnaces at our Dubai facility.
GMF is a 100% Emirati-owned organization, and we are proud to say that we carry the Made in UAE product to the world.
These are just a few examples of the UAE steel ecosystem today. Steelmakers are scaling capacity, modernizing plants with automation and digital control, and raising safety and quality to global benchmarks, supporting the country's growth across construction, industry, energy, and national infrastructure. But there's a problem. Steel remains one of the world's dirtiest industries. The UAE has declared a net zero by 2050 goal as a national strategy. And its industrial decarbonization roadmap explicitly targets high-emitting sectors, including iron and steel. And globally, laws are increasingly penalizing pollution through carbon-linked costs and border measures. So the question isn't whether they can make enough steel to keep building, it's how to do the impossible. Save the industry by reinventing it. This turns decarbonization into a competitiveness test. The UAE industry is being pushed to cut emissions. And at the same time, global markets are starting to price carbon at the border. The EU's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism covers iron and steel. If your steel is dirty, you can't compete. Carbon has become the new tariff. This created a massive risk, but it also created a massive opportunity because the UAE possesses two assets that most steelmakers don't: an abundance of clean energy from solar and the Baraka nuclear plant, combined with the ability to capture carbon on an industrial scale. While 70% of the world still relies on coal-fired blast furnaces, EMSTEEL was built from the ground up to operate with electric arc furnaces powered by the grid. EMSTEEL now sources over 86% of its electricity from clean nuclear and solar sources, significantly reducing emissions and dependence on fossil fuels. For the emissions they can't eliminate, they trap. The Al Riyadh facility captures 800,000 tons of CO2 annually directly from the steel plant. Instead of pumping smoke into the sky, they pipe it underground into an ADNOC oil fields for storage. It is the first commercial-scale project of its kind in the steel world. And they are already testing the fuel of the future. In a pilot with Masdar, EMSTEEL successfully used green hydrogen to extract iron from ore, proving they can eventually remove natural gas from the process entirely.
Buyers in Europe don't just ask for price anymore. They ask for EPD, the Environmental Product Declaration. It allows the steel to bypass carbon taxes that hit competitors from China or India.
These investments and innovations keep steel production in the UAE expanding at an accelerating rate. And it is powering the UAE real estate boom. The cranes keep moving, the keys are handed over, the lights come on, residents get to enjoy a seamless, modern life where promises are delivered on time.
Steel and construction go hand in hand. Today, the whole ecosystem is more resilient because the UAE has real capacity on the ground and a supply chain that can respond fast when the demand shifts. That speed and reliability is pushing the market into a new phase of sustainable growth.
We often look at the UAE's economic diversification through the lens of luxury hotels or tech startups. But real diversification is the ability to take raw material, turn it into advanced metal, and use that metal to build a post-oil nation. The UAE is not diversifying away from oil in theory. It is doing it through systems that make growth reliable, and steel is the system that makes everything else possible. Drive down Sheikh Zayed Road tonight, or look at the horizon of Abu Dhabi, and you will see a country that feels complete. The lights are on, the trains are running, the towers are standing tall against the desert wind. Most of the people living in these new homes will never think about the tensile strength of the rebar in their walls. They will never see the chemical precision of the recycled steel in their bridges. And they will never know the speed at which the mills had to run to make sure their keys were delivered on time. And they shouldn't have to. Steel stays invisible. That is the design. But if you strip away the glass and the concrete, you find the truth holding it all together. Steel is what keeps it standing. And the people keeping those furnaces running? They are the builders of the UAE.